Hello, welcome to SwiftGet. This video is all about macOS development. If you have previous iOS mobile application development experience, it's an advantage. But if you doesn't have any coding experience and new to the software development, no worries, this is the exact place for you. We start from all basics. There are a lot of online videos based on iOS mobile, but macOS very few, and I saw they are charged, and which means like a paid course. But I prefer to give this macOS development course, which is a complete development course, for absolutely 100% free. So as a complete course, overall what we learn at the end of this course is section 1, basic layout, storyboards in UI, which means all the basics which we cover in the first section, and section 2, programming IB outlets, IB actions with sample Mac app projects, pretty nice. And section 3, the last one, is Sprite Kit game development. So at the end of all episodes, I will provide link to register with us to provide you macOS development course completion certificate. What are the requirements to start this course? As I said earlier, there is no coding experience required, but you must have a MacBook or iMac computer with the latest version of Xcode. You can find the latest version of Xcode from appledeveloperaccount.com. I have provided about the requirements and download link detail in my video description. Check that right now. If you have all the stuffs ready, we are ready to start the course. First of all, I'm going to open Xcode from my system. Command space, search for my Xcode. Open it. So this is my Xcode of version 11.5, and I'm using here macOS Catalina 10.15.5 version. So inside this you can see a lot of options like get started with the playgrounds, create a new project, clone an existing project. So I'm going to click create a new Xcode project, and inside this you can choose a template whatever you like. So this is of macOS. I'm going to select this app and click next. So here we can name the product name, and we can select the language as well. We can select the user interface, which we're gonna use Swift UI or Storyboard. I'm going to use here Storyboard for your reference. Alright, and I'm gonna name the Mac project name as macOS person. macOS person. Click next, and I'm going to save in my macOS project, so you can save wherever you like and create the project. It's pretty as simple. Okay, let's make it simple. First of all, when you create the project, as you can see, there are a few stuffs inside there, which is called first of all, it's an app delegate.zip file. So there are two pieces of codes, which means application did finish launching, application did will terminate. So inside this we're gonna write codes when the app launch, and inside this we're gonna write what happens if the app terminates. In this lesson I'm not going to do anything inside this, and we will head over to viewcontroller.zip file. It's also pretty nice. It's a few pieces of code. We'll write some pieces over here in this lesson, and we will go to main.storyboard is the main part, and before that there is an assets.xc assets. Inside this we can add the images, all the stuffs. So we'll head to main.storyboard. This is an important part. So as you can see over here, there's a window controller scene, application scene, view controller scene. So this is the macOS person project with file, edit, format, view, all these stuffs. This is simple as when you open a window in your MacBook or iMac, right? There you can find these file, view, these options at the top of the tab. Alright, and this is my V controller over here, as you can see. So whatever stuffs, this is the main part. So what and all things we're gonna add over here gonna resemble when we run the project. For example, as you can see on the right corner, there's a plus button over here. If you click that, you can add objects, whatever. There are pretty lot of objects, and we're gonna drag them and drop it over here. So whatever we drop it over here, and when we run this project, that's gonna resemble in the window. Alright, so first of all, in this project what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this plus button and checking for an object. First I will check for a label, right, and place it over here, and I'm gonna name it as add person. Okay, then I'm going to click plus button and going to check for a text field. As you can see, this is a secure text field, wrapping label, a lot of options, but I'm taking this text field and dragging it over here. Let's make more space, okay? And as you can see over here, it's an attribute inspector, which you can do all the stuffs, class, all these things inside the small. And if you click that, there will be a placeholder option. So I'm going to write it here as enter name. See the difference. So when you click that, let's make more space. We'll make it center, and command D, drop it over here, and inside the second text field I'm going to write enter age as a placeholder. Okay, and then I'm going to take a checkbox and keep it over here. It's simply as it's nothing but it's a checkbox. We can uncheck and check. We're not going to do much deeper inside this, and we're going to check for a button which is of OK or push button. So it's a kind of button. Going to place it over here, and I'm going to name it as add. Okay, pretty nice and simple. So what all things which we add is gonna resemble in the left side, which means this is my view controller. Inside this I have a view. I had added a label which is called add person. This is my label, and I have added text field, two text fields, right, and a checkbox and add button. Alright, the next thing is I'm going to take the table view over here, type for table table view. Alright, just take it and drag it inside this. Alright, if you have done with an iOS mobile application, if you drag a table view, there will be a one cell, but in this case there are two cells. You may be wondering why there's two cells. You can even delete one of them by simply clicking this and delete it over from here, but in this lesson I'm going to keep the both cells, right? So what do we have in this table view? Click the table view. This is the table view, and you have their table column and the table cell and the table cell with the label view cell as well. And the second table column is the same. You can hear there are table view with a table cell, and inside that there will be a default table view cell label as well. So there will be a scroller to move this window up and down, and scroller which you can see over here to move left and right as well. So in the app of macOS app, so you can scroll left, right, top, bottom. That's what it means. Okay. See, what I'm going to make in this project is, as you can see over here, it's add person. I can enter the name and the age. If I enter a name and age, and if I click an add button, so that data will be added to this table view, and it will reload as a window. Okay, so before that I'm gonna make a few static data inside this table view when we run the app. So in order to do that, come over here and click a right click and select new file. So here I'm using a kind of Swift file. There are a lot of options here. I'm going to use Swift file. Click next, and they're gonna ask for the name which I would like to go for that file. So I'm gonna name it as person and create that file. As soon as we create, you can see it will be inside this. So I'm going inside this person.swift file. So there's an already import foundation. So we're gonna write a few pieces of code over here, right? It's not very difficult as you see. You just need to follow exactly what I'm doing. Simple as it is. So I'm gonna type it here, struct person. This is actually nothing but a model which we're gonna call inside the table view when it initiates. So var name, and let's just write a string over here, and var age is of kind integer. A name will be of string and age of integer. That's what it means. And in it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the name and the string of kind int, and self dot name will be equal to name, and self dot age will be equal to age. Okay, pretty nice. And then I'm going to call a static function which is called static, and func is a function type, and get sample data. And it's nothing but I'm going to call this person list as an array. Okay, and inside this let's say p1 person1 will be of kind person, and name and string. So again, I'm going to name first as tall, which is of age, let's say 10. Okay, comma, and another person with p2 will be of person, same as a name and a string. So I'm gonna name it as Jerry. You need to give this inside this semicolon. Cherry of age maybe of 8, then comma. You can copy this, come down, place it over here, paste it, and let's say p3 p4. Inside that I'm going to name Swift, and cat of age, let's say 20, and let's say 10, and cat will be of 12 age. And at last what I'm going to do is I'm going to call these all stuffs as an array. So I'm going to return this all stuffs as p1 slash p2 p3, and the last one is p4. That's it. That's inside our struct model. It's pretty as simple, and what's exactly what I mean here for the static function is when we call this function anywhere in the project, I can get all the struct model inside my view controller. That's what it means. Okay, let's come back to this main.storyboard, and from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some IB outlets. What are IB outlets? It's nothing but it's an initiative reference so that we can make stuffs coding inside that. Alright, so first of all, if you are an iOS mobile app, you can see that view controller. Instead, in macOS they are having NS view controller. That's it, simple. It's a control, and I'm dragging it. Click control and drag it over here. So you're gonna ask the name, so I'm going to type person name, NS text field, and click in the second text field, press control and drag it over here. So you're gonna name it as age, person age. It's of kind NS text field, and here I have an add button and a table view as well. So click on the table view section, and I'm gonna click and drag it over here, which I would like to give the name as a table view, right? So it's of kind and a stable view, a strong RB outlet reference. These three are of IB outlets, and next we're gonna do for this add button, click that, press Ctrl and drag it over here. This is actually but connection is just of action, not an outlet. So name, I'm gonna name add button tab symbol. Okay, so what are this? These three are of IB outlets, and this is for action. And we will make much more space for my main.storyboard. So here I have the table cells. So I need to give some cell name and identifier in order to do the coding. Let's make this small space. So this is table column. I'm going to name the identifier as name. As you can see in the identity, press enter. So here the difference, and the table column for the next one, I'm going to name it as age, right? Okay, then I have here table view, table cell view. I'm going to name the identifier as name cell. This is of cell view kind, and for the table cell view for the age, I'm going to name it as age cell, right? We will head over to viewcontrol.zip file and write the rest of the coding. So first of all, I have given the struct model which is for person. So I'm going to type it as var sample will be equal to person dot get sample data. Before that, I'm going to call the delegate file. So table view, so ns table view delegate, and ns table view data source. Inside my Vue.jit load, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this table view data source and delegate. If I didn't call, means what happens is the data won't appear inside my window. That's it. So table dot data source will be equal to self, and table view dot delegate will be of kind self. Then what I'm going to do is I have needed few codes which is for table view to load all the data. So I'm gonna type number of rows which is of table view. I'm going to call the return file as people sample sample dot count. This is the count which we are getting from person.sample get data as we wrote already. And then next I'm going to check for view for table column. So type view for here, view for table column. So inside this, what I'm going to do is what I need to call the data inside my table column. That's what it means. And here the number of rows means number of counts of data which we need to load it. Simple. So first of all, so I'm writing the condition that table column dot identifier will be double equal to ns user interface item identifier, which is of raw value, and the string I'm going to the name which we given is name. Okay, and then godlet is a god function which means if doesn't, in order to control the error. So let cell view will be equal to table view dot make view of identifier, and inside this I'm going to give the identifier all these stuffs. Before that, let's give a static name. So let cell identifier will be equal to ns user interface item identifier, and the name which I given in my cell, which means raw value of string, and I'm gonna name it as name cell. You may be wondering, these two guys which I have taken from main.storyboard, I will come back to this section. So name, this is the column, I have given the identifier as name, and the table cell view, I have given the identifier as name cell, the same as for the age as well. So that's what I'm doing it right over here as well. And then I need to call this cell identifier inside this. So cell identifier with an owner of self, and it is of kind as ns table cell view else I want to return a nil. Pretty nice. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this cell view dot text field, which is a text field inside the cell. It's a string value first of all, and it is of kind sample of kind row dot, and this is the name exactly. So here I have written what is if, and the condition which I need if, and I need to go a open close bracket paste here, take this guy inside, we'll copy this inside this if condition, and then press else, and then in the else condition we're gonna do for the second part, which means we need for the age. So copy this, paste it over here, the raw value I'm gonna name it as age, same as open and close the brackets. Inside this function I'm going to copy all this file and paste it over here, and else if we need to return the cell as well. So this there will be a return cell view, same as here, return cell view, and here I have age, and my cell identifier will be of age cell, and sample dot row, instead of name I'm going to give this age, and it is not of the why this is error, because we have given this as a string value, instead I need to go integer value. Simple, pretty nice, isn't it? And last thing is I have to place a return app as well after the two cell checking. So I'm gonna write return nil. Just don't make confused, just you need to pause this and exactly write the codes as it is. And then the action button, I'm going to add let new name will be equal to person name. Person name, it's a outlet from which we taken from the here person name as an ns text field. And then I'm going to call new age will be equal to the person age of kind mm, which is of integer value. And then I'm going to call the sample, it's an array dot append sequence of new element, which means the element which I'm going to write append over here is the person, and dot init name and string. So init name, what I need to add is new name, new name, and the age I need to call this new age. Actually they are from this, okay, this is new age, and here I'm gonna append all these stuffs. After this I need to reload, then only the name will be added. So I'm going to write a table view dot reload data. Simple, that's it, and we are done with the coding, I guess. And we can run it straight away. Before that, I would like to let you know that you need to go to this sign in and capabilities. If you doesn't have a Apple developer account, make sure that you sign with some Apple developer account. And inside this I have my personal team. You just need, it's limited, Apple have given limited that you can run in the device or a simulator, but it's not exactly necessary if you're running in a simulator. But if you're running a device, you need to have this Apple developer, at least a personal team. That's all, and we will run and check what we have done so far. Okay, cool. If you have done this much, happy that you have done your first macOS app with coding. And as you can see on the screen, I have the window with a table view of person data of static cells. And here I can enter the name and age as well. So if I enter my name and add age, and if I add, see over here, it's added in my window. So if I try to expand this, it will see that I haven't done anything with layered constraints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to my main.storyboard and go to this window controller scene. And inside this window, check over this section. As you can see, there's controls of resize, minimize, close, all these stuffs. If I click resize, uncheck resize, stop this, and if I run it again, I won't be able to resize that Mac app again, which means like if I try to resize, it won't happen. And that's the concept behind this. And you can add a name of Jack of age 28, let it say, and if I add, pretty nice. So that's the thing. And so one more thing I would like to show is if you are running with a dark mode, it will be like this. And in general, if you go to the general section and if you change to the light mode, see the difference, your app will be off light. Let's change back to the dark mode itself. So that's all in this video. And in the coming up episodes, what I like to go is I will be making most probably a NS notification, which is of a message kind of app, or a related to a core animation, or a Mac app, new Mac apps, how to make a sample new Mac apps in different topic. All right, so that's all in this video. And if you haven't never subscribed my channel, I recommend to subscribe this channel so that you can get new macOS developer course new videos straight away as a notification as well. Thank you for watching, lads. Thank you very much. See you next video.